Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video of Guitar with Gavin. Today we are looking at oh man, I just realized I haven't been looking at giving you guys like the dates of when songs come out. So yeah guys, I don't know. We messed up. We done goofed up, and I don't know when this song came out. I know it's written by Bob Dylan. It's positively 4th Street. We are looking at the version played by Garcia Merl Saunders. First time I heard this was in a small little pizza joint in Tacoma called Half Pint, and I absolutely loved it. And I was trying so hard to figure it out. The song, I was like, I don't know what this is, but it is amazing. It is a jam. And this was like before I even got into the Dead, and so this was like awesome. It was so cool to me. And so yeah, we're going to, like I said, we're gonna learn how to do Positively 4th Street. This is such just a happy vibe of a song. It is essentially 2 parts, just kind of that little intro part, and then the chords, which we'll go over. We'll kind of talk about soloing a little bit, but yeah, so let's jump on into this. Our intro part is super simple. All we're doing is we're starting on the 5th fret of our A string, and we're going to pluck it, hammer onto the 7th, and then do a little hammer on back off to our 5th. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on our low E string right after that. Same frets and everything, 5, 7, 5. Play the G note, our 3rd fret on the low E, and then go ahead and play G chord. They do that 4 times, so 1 time through would be. And you can definitely pluck, you know, you don't have to hammer on and pull it all off, you know, you don't have to. I pluck that 5th note when we come back to it after hitting the 7th. So no shame in doing that whatsoever. So now let's look at the chords. The chord progression is basically 2 parts. The first part is super easy. It is just G, A minor, C, G. And then yeah, I mean, that's it. Every single one of those chords, we're playing for a whole measure, boom. That's the first part of the chord progression. Here, it speeds up a little bit, kind of. Basically, for the first 2 measures of the next part, we're gonna be playing 2 chords in each one. They each get 2 beats. So G for 2 beats, G, 1, 2, D for 3 and 4. Then we go to C, 1, 2, E minor, 3, 4, then to D. And then this D, when we get back to it, we're gonna hold it out for 2 measures. It's a long time, and they kind of do that little sus4 thing. So sometimes when I come back and I'm playing the D, I will just kind of play the bar form of it just across our D, G, and B string, and then middle finger on the 8th fret of our B right there. That gives us our D sus4, because you can hear them doing it on, I think it's when the 2nd measure of D, you know, when they're 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, they'll do a little sus4 in there to kind of play around with that. If you're playing like the open chords for this, all it is just gonna be putting your pinky down on the 3rd fret of our high E string, taking it back off with regular D, right? And that is the entire song. So here's our chord progression. G, A minor, to C, back to G, G, D, C, E minor, D, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, back to G, right? Boom, that's the whole song. That's the whole chord progression. It's amazing. It's super simple. It gives you I love the first part, you know, that G walking into the second chord, into our fourth, into G. Like it just gets you. And then the second time through, you know, also we kind of have this happy, just a little quicker turnarounds of 1, 2 to the D, to the C, to E minor, to the D. I love it. It's amazing. Bob Dylan, you're killing it, man. You don't need me to tell you that. There's like a million videos on YouTube telling you that. So, and I'm sure like hundreds of trophies on your wall and other stuff. So, to talk about soloing over this, Jerry's pretty tame. He's not doing anything very crazy, you know, he's not going nuts. We're playing chord tones, and that's pretty much it. What I love about this is it's basically, you know, 1, 4, 5, 6, and we throw in a little bit of a 2 for the chord progression. So none of this is stuff that we shouldn't be familiar with, right? And if you know, like your triads and where they are along the neck, they're different versions, you know, you can find your G here. And, you know, we want to get to our A minor, which we can play, oh, here, I'll play this. And, you know, so let's look going from this to this, as I'm messing it up. You know, how can we do that? Well, let's take this little D, or this little D-shaped G chord, and we can start. We come back to the 8th fret on the E. That's our minor third. It's popping, right? It's sounding great. Especially after being on the major third of the G, we really get that, or emphasize going from a major sound to a minor. And I'm just doing a very Jerry thing of just doing a little chromatic walk up from the 3rd to the 5th of our G chord. So that's just gonna be 7, 8, 9, 10 on our high E. You can even walk it back down to the 10th fret, not the 10th fret, I apologize, the 8th fret of our E, because that's our minor third of the A minor. You can walk it back down. You can do the whole. It's up to you. You know, you can just do, like I said, up to you, whatever you like. And then after that, we're doing C, right? So here's our little C-shaped triad right here, just 9, 8, 8. And think of, okay, what can we do there? Or if we bend up from the 10th fret, we bend up a whole step. So the 12 on our E, that's the major third of our C. So we can go like, I don't know, whatever. I'm making this up as I go, right? But I'm trying to give people, you know, I'm trying to pinpoint the chord we are playing. It's gonna sound the best. Those notes are going to be the best ones we play, right? Especially for such a sweet sounding song. That's what I'm trying to nail. And you can even do double stops, you know, we're going into our G like this on the 8th and 7th fret. This is our A minor on the 8th and 10th, 8th and 10th fret. We go up to our 13th and 12th fret on our B and E string, that's our C. And what's pretty cool is if we go and play the 12th fret on the B and 10th fret on the E, that's a G, double stop, a little G, 2-note G, right? It's weird because we don't actually have a G note in there. It's the 3rd and the 5th of our G chords. So just be aware of that. But yeah, so fun stuff like that, right? And then we get to the second part, which is going to be a little more, it's quicker, right? The chord changes are moving faster. So G, D, C, E minor, back to D. And so some things that you really hear Jerry do a lot when we're going from the D to the C is you'll hear him kind of play like the little chromatic runs to the next note. And that's on our G string, 7, 6, 5. And you can do that really anywhere because it's just the octave. So if we're on our high E, it's just 10, 9, 8. And then right there, you go down to the 7th fret. That's our E minor. Pretty nice, right? And then instead of taking it down like I did, I went down to the 5th fret on our E, right? Thinking that's a D. Well, it's kind of, this is the point where they're holding on the D chord for you to kind of really get in there and jam. And so typically, go up the neck or down the neck, whichever you want to call it, but you want to go this way, right? And so, you know, but what I'm trying to do is just follow the chord tones. If you really want to, you can make it a D mixolydian over that long D that we're holding out. Up to you. I typically don't though. I'm keeping this strictly G major pentatonic. But like I said, I'm just trying to hit our chord tones in there. So G, A minor, C, G, G, D, C, E minor, D. Back to G, right? And so that is all I'm doing. I'm just trying to hit our chord tones, and I'm just visualizing, here's a G, here's A minor, here's C, here's D, D, C, A minor, G, G. You know, I'm just trying to visualize all that. Or, you know, we have a D here, we have a C here, and I'm just trying to connect my, you know, this D to this C. You know, I'm just trying to find notes using my G major pentatonic to connect those chord shapes, so that way I can hit the chord tone. So hopefully that makes sense. I know I didn't really kind of get into like licks. I know, you know, like I said, this isn't necessarily licks. It's just how to kind of get that idea, kind of sound a little Jerry-esque. So hopefully that made sense for you guys. Definitely, if you haven't started learning them, learn your triads of chords, their inversions, so you can move them up and down the neck. Eventually you get to a point where you just are seeing where the chord is on the neck, and that's all you can see, and it, you know, might be kind of annoying, depending on the song. But yeah, like I said, hopefully that all made sense for you guys. Thanks for watching. Please leave anything in the comments below that you want me to know, you want to ask, and hopefully I can get around to, you know, doing any requests that you guys have. I have a list of songs that I'm going to keep following, but if I get a request, that goes to the forefront. And especially right now, like, you'd be my first request, so hell yeah. Anyways, yeah, once again guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope to see you soon.